Hi and welcome to today's video, which is my September update for my main project pan, which is a rolling project pan with 15 items that as I reach a goal or I empty a product, I can roll it out and then substitute it with another product from the same sort of like eyeshadow with an eyeshadow, but I can change it up a bit, but I've been tending to do that. So I shall go through my products here, and there have been quite a number of developments. So the first one is a replacement. It's not an original item because I finished the first one, but it's a hair product, and it's the Aussie Sensational Protect Conditioning Mist, which is a tropical scented mist with like tiara flowers in, and I don't use it that often, hence why it's here, but it's basically when I blow dry and straighten my hair, I use this as a protector, but I don't do it often. But there has been some movement there. That was the last one. So there has been a little bit of movement. So I'm hoping to have my hair cut in the next few days, and I'll probably start using this a bit more, and I would like to get this finished and out of my collection. Then I have a fragrance. So this is either my second or third fragrance, and it is in this project. This is now finished. So it is the Peony number 11 Eau de Toilette from Aldi, which is a dupe for the Jo Malone blush, a Peony and Blush Suede, I think it is, which I've also had and used up this year. I think that was the original one, and then I put the copy in. So that was finished in August. So I've been using various other ones of an evening, because that's when I tend to use this, after I've had a bath and when I go to bed. And then I decided to put this in because it would pair with some other fragrances that I would like to use of a night that I think would need a bit more punch. So I've got the Black Musk Night Bloom, which was a limited edition from the Body Shop, because they always have the white musk. So this one is a woodsy musk, which is obviously from deer, an artificial musk. And there is some warmth, a slight hint of sweetness, and some floral notes. But it's made predominantly musk, which I love the scent of musk. So I'm going to use this as a layering fragrance. I can't see through the bottle. It's opaque, even with a flashlight or an LED light. So I've had to weigh it. So its current weight is 157 gram. So we'll see what progress. Now, where it's up to, I would say we're up to perhaps about there. That's a guess. And it is it 100 gram, 100 mil? Let me see on the bottom. 60 mil. So we'll see where we go for the end, till the end of the year. Then moving on, is a primer category, and I have all year been using the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer in Illuminating 50 mil, 50 gram. Now it isn't sold in this side. It's been repackaged and reduced to 30 gram or 30 mil. So that is now all empty. I did put some in a pot, but it is now all gone. Now, it's not the greatest benefit because it doesn't help with adhesion of very much of your base product, but if you have dull skin, it's good for moisturising and illuminating. But I don't have dull skin, although my skin is dry. It's very bright, but I was able to make use out of it. I have had it before in beauty boxes, and I got that in a beauty box, but it's not one of hers that I would choose to buy. I would probably go for a gripping primer, if anything. So in its place, I have got a product by Avant, which I got in an advent calendar in 2024. So this is the Pro Collagen, Pro Perfecting Collagen Prime Touchiclet 30 mil. So I've been using this a few days, but I've only worn it today when it officially starts in the project. And it is 30 gram. Including the weight of the container. So I have used it quite a bit. It's moisturising. It doesn't add a lot of grip, but I'd say possibly a bit more than the Laura Mercier. It isn't causing me any problems, and it's supposed to have positive skincare benefits. So that has been fine up to now. Then I have from Yensa a Skin on Skin BC foundation. So it's a BB and CC and foundation combined. Now this is an American brand. It's a lady of Chinese origin who is, and the company's based in the US of A, and it's using Korean and I think Japanese technology, and it's made, I think it's made in Korea. And it was sold officially only through QVC UK, but I can't find many shades. There's a lot of shades, very few now available. So I think it's being eased out of the UK market, or unless they're trying to find another supplier. I don't know, but this is not easy to get hold of, certainly not in this shade light neutral. So it's very much like the It Cosmetics CC cream, but what I would say, it's a bit lighter, a bit more liquidy, but it is a neutral, very, very neutral shade. So for many it would look greyish, but I'm enjoying that. Have I got it on today? No, I'm using another product today, but it is lovely. It's a medium. You can sheer it, you can build it up a little bit. I won't say it's full coverage, but it is lovely, and it's illuminating and moisturising, and I am enjoying using that. Then I have from Laura Geller, Balance and Brighten foundation. Sorry, I meant to say the Yensa was put in last month, and I didn't say what the weight was. I'm sorry. The weight was 44.5 gram when it was put in. This month, 42 gram. I've used 2.5 gram. So this, like I said, is a replacement. I have used other products, and this is the current one that I'm using in this project. Then from Laura Geller, this has been in from the beginning. It is the Balance and Brighten foundation in porcelain. So I use this on my eyeliner to stop it transferring should there be any moisture on my eyelids. I don't so much need it for the pencil that I use most of the time, the Colamine, but I do tend to put a little bit on top most days. So I was surprised within a couple of days of filming my last update, didn't I hit pan? Now I don't know if you can see here, and I will tap it. Wait. That is the pan. Now it is a terracotta base. I'm not sure if it's terracotta colour or whether the powder is masking that. It could be a very light beige colour, but yeah, I've hit pan. I'm going to keep it in and see if I can expand the pan, but I have continued to use it, and it's nice, but I don't particularly care for it as a foundation. It doesn't particularly work for me at all as a foundation. It doesn't give me enough coverage. I think it's just not got enough pigment in. Then for contour or bronzer officially, I have, this isn't, it has been only out a few months now, so I think less than a year. It's the Too Faced, and it is their bronzer and Sculpt, I think it is. I've got it in the second shade 2, so I think that is it is Chocolate Souffle. Chocolate Mousse is the lightest, but that's a bit green in colour. So this really is a bit dark and a bit weird as a bronzer for me, but I've been using it as a contour by adding a white Body Shop mixing fluid that's actually got a hint of pink in, so it's cooling it down. So this was put in this pot, and that's all I've got left. So I've got a week, 10 days max left. I use that here and over the perimeter of my face, and what I will be doing in the next couple of weeks when that's used up, I will scrape this out, and then hopefully the whole tube will be finished by the end of the year. Then we have another contour which I use for under the chin, sculpting under the chin and the neck, because my foundation is darker than my neck, even though it does look quite pale, and I have lots of bronzer on, powder bronzer. It just shows you how pale I am. But this is the contour, a powdered one. So this is by MAC, and it's under the bronzer range, and it's Back to Nature, a long and discontinued item. And it is very, very pale. It has lost quite a bit of its pigment over time, so I have been using quite a bit, and I haven't got much left, and I'm hoping to get this finished at the end of the year. When it was put in it, I already had a pan, about a 5p size or a nickel size, and it has grown a lot and not much is left, but I'm enjoying using it. Then I have from Benefit the Rocketeur blush, which I got in a pack of 5 other little items, and yeah, this is one. I think I've only got one other to use up, I think, and this is where we're at. So I did make a lot more progress earlier on in this year, but as I've been doing a lot more of rotating through my collection, I'm only using this around a third of the time, but I'm hopefully on course to get it finished at the end of the year. I'll have it on my cheeks today. What I will say is, due to its age and probably being opened and closed and opened, is not as opaque and not as coloured, so it's lost a lot of its pigment, its effective pigment over time. You can hardly tell, but I'm able to build it up with a fluffy blush and get quite a bit of colour. So hopefully this will be out by the very end of the project, but I'm enjoying using that. Then I have in my Zao palette, I've got an eyeshadow, and this is from the Naked palette. Now I got the Naked palette towards the end of its initial run, and then it was re-released last year in 2024, and a lot of people rebought it. So I used Naked, which is a matte brown, a pale to mid brown, for my contour shade. When that was finished, I went over to Book, and that again, although it looks dark, is actually only a mid-tone shade, but it shows up quite dark on my skin tone, and I use it in the crease, and that's where we're at. So I'll try and show you. It is matte, and I do use that. I put my brush in the whole of the pan. I don't concentrate in one area. So it's getting quite a bit of use. I'm not sure whether I'll hit pan, but I am using it probably about the third of the time, because although I do wear makeup every day, I am using other products, and when I use it, I put it onto the lid and then I put a glitter on top. But I'm enjoying using this product. Then for eyeliner, I've got a Lord & Berry, and that's because I have used my other eyeliner that was in this project. It's all gone. So I put this in a couple of months ago, I think, or maybe 3 months ago. So this is in bronze. It's not particularly bronze. It's more like a matte dark brown. But I'll show you where I am up to. I have it marked here. So in July, that's when it was put in. August, September. So I've had a couple of months of use. And it's a very hard pencil. So it doesn't necessarily transfer, but if my eyes get watery, it can do. So I do blot it with this to try and prevent any transfer. So I'm enjoying using it, but it is a bit hard, so it does drag the skin a bit. And that is what I've noticed on Lord & Berry products. They are an Italian brand, and they are made in Italy. Then I have my colour corrector from Charlotte Tilbury, which was put in earlier on this year. I think it was a replacement. Anyway, this is all gone. So this one is in medium 2. So it's a very strong peach colour, which is good, a peach to orange, which is good for my very black under eye rings. What I will say, it's not as creamy as I would like, although it is a balm, it's not as creamy. So I found it a bit drying for me. And I'm actually using Bobbi Brown, which is giving me, it's much thinner, and it is giving me more opacity and is more moisturising, so it is my preference. But this is all used up. I'm not going to be putting the Bobbi Brown one in. Instead, I have picked, what have I picked to put in? Just bear with me. Number 12, right. I have put in a lip liner. So this is by Illamasqua, and it is the shade Raw. So I've had this some time. I've used this to line with this lipstick, which is also in the project pan. So I have only started using it in the last couple of months, and it was very tall. So I have used quite a bit, and this is where we're at. I'm just putting the starting note there. That's where it is, and I've got that much to use up. But I do use quite a lot. I don't cover the entire lip with it, but it is a bit hard. So I'm hopefully going to be able to get the use out of it before it entirely dries out, but it is drying out. But it's not drying away from the wood. But I'll see what use I can get out of this one. But it is Raw. There aren't many Illamasqua products available. The company seems to be being run down since it's been acquired by the Hut Group, which own Cult Beauty and Look Fantastic. But some of these are available at Look Fantastic. Then I have my lipstick, which has been in. It hasn't been in all of the project, but I've had it in a couple of months now, and it's TULS 10. That's its name. So that's the progress. I'll show you what it looks like, and it's on my lips now. So I'm fairly confident I will be able to get this finished this year, but I'll show you where the markings are. So it was put in July there. August, that was quite a big jump in that September. So I've not used as much. I probably have been focusing more on other lipsticks that are in my current rotation, because previously I used to really just predominantly in previous years focus on what was in my project pan, but I need to really get good use out of my collection. So though I am on course, I think, to finish that this year. If not, I'm not too concerned because I've already finished one in this category. Likewise, this is also a replacement item, and this is Studio 10. Now, I don't think this company is around anymore, but they did do quite nice makeup items. So this is a peachy orange lip gloss that's frosted. It's really lovely. That's where I was up to last month, but I've had to tip it on its end and it's still not dripping down. So all of that is a tiny bit stuck to the outer side of the acrylic. I will soon be taking the stopper out, because if I take the stopper out, it can't be carried in a purse because it will leak. But that is what I'm going to try and do next. So I'm hoping by the October update this will be finished. So again, I have really enjoyed that product. Then I have for number 13. Number 14, I had the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand, and that is in medium, Pillow Talk medium. And that is a very strong colour. I wanted to get a tiny drop out there. That is really only suitable for tan skin and darker. I was using it, but it didn't look that natural. It did look as if I had this weird bronzer effect on. But you think, well, how did I manage to use all of this? Because it's all gone. I actually put it in with a pot of skincare and used it as a bronzer shimmer on the skin, and it worked well. So that is now all used up. Not my favourite product, even though the shade wasn't right. I actually do have another that I got in a beauty box that's in a different shade that I'll try. But I'm sure it's nice for many people. It does give a nice appearance. It does sort of semi dry down. It's not completely matte and flat, but I don't think either it's the most flattering for me as a highlighter in terms of its texture. Then in its place, I've put in by Fenty Beauty the Pro Filter Powder in 02 Butter. So I was really struggling to find anything to put in, and I've already got a powder, but I use this differently. This is a face powder. So I'm going to try and knock it into position. It's showing lower, but it isn't. It's basically, I did get it on that line. So it's basically up to there. I use very little in the year. It's a very lightweight powder, although there is talc, and I love talc-based powders, face powders. So I'm going to see if I can get it below there at the end of the year. Who knows? But I am enjoying this. So it's a beige colour, but it does smell of like vanilla cupcake or vanilla icing, I would say. I'm enjoying using this at the moment, and the fragrance isn't bothering my skin. And then finally, this has been in a few months now. I did finish up one nail polish, I think. This is the Sally Hansen Miracle Gel in 212 Mocha Me Crazy. Now that line has been there for many months, and all I can say, I can't get it below the line. Now I use it 3 or 4 times a month on my fingernails. I'm going to be repainting them tonight. I've just had them on and taken them off, so it's had a lot of use. So I'm going to say, if you want a nail polish that's going to last a long time and is worth your money, I would say look no further than this Sally Hansen one. And it is in the Miracle Gel formula. It is getting a bit thick, however, and I haven't had it that long in my collection. Anyway, they're all the products that I've had or I'm using, have finished. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you tried any of these? Are you going to give any a try? If you've got any tips or advice, please let me know down below and let's have a discussion. But can I say thank you very much for watching and for spending some of your most valuable, precious time with me. I really do appreciate that, because your time is valuable. Hopefully I shall see you soon in another video. What I will say is I don't have any beauty boxes planned at the moment or any advent calendars. My next video should be or planned is going to be my update for my other project pan, which is 50 Shades of Grey, and then we'll be getting towards the end of September, and my September empties. I don't know where the year has gone, but anyway, like I say, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully I shall see you soon. Otherwise, please do take care of yourselves, and bye for now.